Hello everybody, this is Warlock from Seasoned Gamers. How you all doing? Hope you guys are having a great evening. And we're here to talk a little bit about PC gaming in general. And it's the whole PC gaming versus console gaming debate, if you want to call it. I guess I just kind of want to put in my 2 cents on some of it. And I don't know, maybe I'm going to do more than one video regarding this topic. But basically, what prompted me to make this particular video is that recently I was having a discussion with somebody regarding the whole topic about PC versus console. So they asked me, well, why are you a PC gamer? Especially since I started with consoles, right? And I think a lot of people, including PC gamers themselves, started with a console. And I don't know, like I guess to give you a little bit of a backstory, I didn't really have an experience with PC gaming itself until I moved in with my dad. My dad had this computer, and I don't even know what the specs were, but he had a few games on it, and my first experiences with PC gaming were Diablo, Warcraft, and Doom, and I think Doom 2 as well. And I remember the first time I saw like Doom especially, it just totally blew me away. How awesome the graphics were, how it handled, and the gore as well. I mean, because I don't remember at the time games being that graphic on consoles. Before that, you know, I had a Nintendo, was like the first console I ever owned. I had a Super Nintendo, I had a Sega Genesis. Around the time when I was living with my dad, I got a GameCube, or not a GameCube, sorry, Nintendo 64. You know, again, those were the only experiences that I had, and you know, my dad was in the army, he had money and stuff, so he could afford that stuff. Because at the time, especially, I didn't have a job or anything, so, you know, I didn't have the money to have my own gaming PC. That's, for me, that just wasn't going to be possible. So I never really tried to get into it back then, because it was just, I'm just playing on my dad's PC. Whenever I move back in with my mom, then I'm not going to be able to have that experience anymore. And not that I didn't have PCs after that, like after I came into my own and, you know, had a job and everything. My first PC was an E-machine, and then sometime later I bought a Hewlett Packard, and you know, I could do a little bit of gaming on those, but they weren't really powerful machines, so I couldn't really do a whole lot in them. And it was basically around 2005, 2006, I was playing a game called Conquer. And Conquer was like, the style reminded me a lot of Diablo and Diablo 2, but it was online. And you got to interact with other players and stuff, and there was PvP and all sorts of stuff, you know, and I met a lot of people, made a few enemies. it was funny, especially, you know, playing on a PvP server and stuff. Made a lot of enemies, actually. But, you know, I enjoyed it for what it was. I remember that, of course, World of Warcraft was already out, and I never really looked too much into World of Warcraft. Like, my main go-to gaming experience wasn't really my PC. I had a PS2 at that point, and that's where the majority of my gaming was done, was on my PS2. I gotta credit South Park a little bit. So eventually I moved from Puerto Rico to the States. I moved to Arizona, have some friends here and stuff. Anyway, so I ended up moving out here, and I couldn't bring my computer with me. So I remember I ended up selling it, and I bought a laptop. And then I remember, I think I want to say it was around that time where, I don't know if it had come out before, but when I finally watched it, I watched that episode of South Park, that Make Love Not Warcraft, and that's when I finally decided that I had to try World of Warcraft. Because the episode, there were a lot of things that happened in that episode, I could, even though I never played it, it kind of resonated with me, because like especially the whole PvP aspect, and the guy who was a troll and kept killing the newbies and stuff. Like, oh, dude, I experienced all of that playing Conquer. So I knew exactly where they were coming from with that. And so I ended up trying it on my laptop. And again, this laptop, it was a little bit more powerful, I guess, than the desktop that I had, the Hewlett Packard, but only by so much. And I could play WoW, but pretty much only in the lowest of settings. Even though it was in the lowest of settings, it just, I was so addicted to WoW. Oh my god. I mean, I would call into work and pretend I was sick sometimes, because I spent all night playing World of Warcraft, and I was tired, and I wasn't going to make it through the day at work. But the minute I hung up, then I would go back and be like, okay, well, let me just finish this one daily quest real quick, and then I'll turn off the laptop and get some sleep. Nope. I ended up playing till like 3 in the afternoon. So that's the true story. Anywho, and you know, irresponsible too. Don't do that. Don't let games consume your life like that. But anywho, you know, eventually I said to myself, you know, I tried cranking up the settings on the game, because I want to see. I saw some pictures online of, you know, while I was doing some research for the game, I saw some pictures online on the way that some people played it, and I saw so much more detail and everything. And then I saw some videos, and it was almost like a different game to my eyes. So I said, let me crank up the graphics on this, because I think what I did is I just had the game look at my system's settings and just kind of set the graphics and set everything to what the game thought my system can handle, which was basically the very lowest. And so I set everything to ultra, and it was unplayable. Okay, like I was getting like maybe 8 frames per second at most, and it was just bad. I think at one point I got like 10 frames per second, to be honest. But of course, that's not gonna cut it. And at the time, I would have been happy with 30 frames per second, to be honest. I would have been happy with just 30. So I'm like, okay. So then I start researching, and I found this site online where they were, because at first thing, you know, being ignorant, you know, the first thing I do is I look at PC power, or not PC power, Alienware PCs. And I'm like, holy crap, I don't have the money to pay for one of these beastly machines or whatever, right? Because like the cheapest one I saw, maybe, or maybe not even the cheapest one that I saw, but the one that I said that okay, maybe I want this one, was like at least $3,000. And at the time, especially, I'm like, I just didn't see the value of spending that much money, especially if I just want to play this one game. So then I look at these other websites, and then I start coming up with a budget, and so my budget was like, okay, no more than $1,000, right? That's what I was thinking, no more than $1,000. And I find this other website where you can customize your PC, and it's gaming PCs, but there's like drop-down windows, and you can kind of piece together. They have pre-built ones, but then even those you can tweak. And I think, I mean, don't take my word for it, but I think it was like PC Power or something like that, or Cyber Power, or something like that. You know, I'm looking at these sites, I'm looking at these PCs, and thank goodness for a friend of mine at work who said, why don't you just build your own PC? It'll be a heck of a lot better. You're paying all this extra money really just because they're gonna ship it to you, and also because they're gonna put it together for you. And I said, well, but it has warranty. Like, I try to fight it. I'm like, but it has a warranty and everything. He's like, that's bull crap, you know, and X, Y, and Z. So he introduces me to like newegg.com and says, just, you have internet, go online, do your research, and build yourself a PC so you can play WoW on max settings the way you want. And that's really, that was my first gaming PC, officially my first gaming PC. And it by today's standards is nothing but, And even back then, it wasn't the best. I remember it did have a quad core, but it was like the littlest quad core, the smallest one, the cheapest one, but it was still a quad core. And I had a decent graphics card. I mean, I had a GTX 260, and it was like the overclock. It was an EVGA, and it was the overclock one. I was so proud of that card, and I remember that for like at least a month, man, I was driving people around me crazy because I kept doing research, and then I was getting excited about it. I would talk to people about it, and really the only person I could talk to was my friend from work, because other people that didn't know or whatever, I was just driving them crazy because I wouldn't stop talking about like hard drives and this case over here and this motherboard and the type of RAM that I'm gonna get, and did you know that they're coming up with these like things and what shaders and CUDA cores are and all this crazy stuff, right? I was like man, I found something I really liked. Like I got hooked, and I was so amazed by the technology and everything. And then I started to think, well, maybe I can also play other games, right? So, but first, let me say this, and I hope this doesn't discourage anybody who wants to get into PC gaming. My first build, I had some hiccups, and I was running into problems with blue screens and crashing and stuff. And because, well, the problem that I had is, the main problem that I had was I didn't have another PC to test my components with, and so I couldn't take out the RAM from the gaming PC and put it on this other PC and test the RAM over there and see if it's still good. Couldn't take the processor out and test it on this other motherboard, so back and so forth. Trying to troubleshoot when you don't have another machine that you already know works to try and find what the solution is can sometimes be a nightmare. And especially because I was brand new and stuff, like I kept calling my friend, he kept giving me ideas, I kept looking in forums online and all this other stuff. Long story short, it ended up being the motherboard, so I ended up returning it. Actually, they sent me a replacement. That one had the same issue. I said, you know what, just give me my money back. And then he recommended Asus for the motherboard, so I went ahead and got an Asus motherboard. Problem solved. I never had any issues after that, and that particular gaming PC lasted me a long time. I want to say that was around 2008 when I built that PC, and I had it till 2014. I don't remember. Like I had it till maybe around 2014. And actually, said gaming PC still works, because I went ahead and I gave it that same friend that I was talking about. I gave it to him. I said, hey man, you want my PC? Because even though he's into PC gaming and stuff, he was running an even older machine. So I said, here you go, have an upgrade on me. It's not the latest of the greatest, but it's a pretty decent. I said, you can gut it and take whatever. He ended up just keeping the whole thing, and it's still working, going strong till this day. So it's a very awesome, very well made gaming PC. And, and then now I build I'm on like my third gaming PC, because then I built another one in 2014ish, in or early 2015. I built one in early 2015. Was when I built a new PC. And actually, okay, so then it was more like 2015 is when I gave my PC to my old PC to my friend, and that one was a really good PC as well. But then there was I just had this bug that I had some money coming in, and I said even that one was like in a little bit of a budget. So I said, you know what, I want to build a monster one. I want to build one that's really monstrous, and I want to run benchmarks and stress test it and do like a fire strike test and see what score I get and see where I rank up against other people, and I want to overclock it, and I want to do. By this point, I know a lot more, and so I end up with the PC that I have right now. And but here's the thing. Now this PC, I'm probably gonna end up replacing the processor for an i7 because I have an i5, and because I'm doing a lot of video editing and all this other stuff now. Well, okay, now I see the value in getting an i7. Well, before I only got an i5 because I'm like, I'm just gonna game and surf the web on it. I'm not gonna do anything else, right? Wrong. So now I probably need an i7. I used to have two 980 Ti cards, and I'm not gonna get into the reason why I only have one now. It was I made a terrible mistake. I should have kept my 980 Ti and still had two 980 Ti's in SLI. But whatever. So I'm gonna get a 1080 Ti whenever that comes out, and I might just stick with one and not do the SLI thing. Who knows? I'll say that now. Maybe I'll end up getting two, and I'm probably gonna get 32 gigs of RAM, and again, that goes because of all the editing and stuff, because this is my main gaming and workstation PC and stuff. So ideally later maybe I'll build another PC that's going to be solely dedicated to video editing, but for now I gotta have an all-in-one solution right now. But yeah, so basically that's how I got into PC gaming, and I haven't looked back since. And I love gaming on PC. I mean, I definitely get my money's worth. Even with that other budget gaming PC that I had first, I had so much fun. Of course, played the heck out of WoW, and then moved on to other things. Play so many games on that, and I'm still a console gamer. I still play games on console, which is what some people understand. It's like you don't have to be just one or the other. You can play on both platforms and be perfectly happy, and in fact just pick and choose. I choose to play these games on the PC, and I choose to play these other games on the console. Simple as that. I mean, because we're all gamers, right? So I don't understand this whole PC master race thing and console peasant or whatever, or a console elitist, or I mean, at the end of the day, we're all gamers. And I'm sorry, the PC master racing, that's just a meme, and some people take it to heart. I have fun with it. I'll admit it. I have a shirt, I have a t-shirt that says, it has the godly looking dude from the PC master race with the white flowing hair and stuff, and it says glorious gaming PC master race, and then at the bottom it says like a little prayer, like may your frame rates be high and your temperatures low, or something like that. It's just so stupid and over the top. And I guess in a sense it's like, okay, I guess I'm part of the PC master race, but it's I don't take it to heart. I don't make fun of people who can't afford a gaming PC, and honestly, you don't have to go the route that I took. Like, you don't have to have a gaming PC that's like, because you know, I'm talking a 980 Ti's at one point. That's expensive, you know. That's definitely expensive, but you don't have to go that route to game and have a nice experience that's equal, and in some cases, a lot of cases, can be better than what you get on a console. Because, you know, a lot of games on console, well, they're locked at 30 FPS, and they have dynamic resolution. Like, the resolution won't even stay at 1080p. It'll switch on you on the fly, and you might not even notice, just to keep the frame rate up. You know, and on PC, on a PC that costs, let's say $400, between $400 and $500 maybe, let's say, you can have a better experience than what some of the consoles are out right now. PS4 Pro, I don't know, because I don't own one of those. I have a regular PS4, but I'm pretty sure that there's already people out there saying, well, here's a budget PC, gaming PC that can beat the PS4 Pro or whatever. I'm pretty sure that somebody's already working on something like that. But you know what? To each their own. If you feel more comfortable playing on consoles, then good for you. Play on consoles. If you feel more comfortable playing on PC because you like the experience better on PC, then go right ahead. I mean, nobody should be judging anybody. Really, like, it's stupid. And you don't need to have You don't need to drop thousands of dollars to get into PC gaming. And as far as consoles go, you don't need to act all jelly and whatever when you hear the whole term PC Master Race or whatever, because people get really defensive when they hear that. And first of all, it's a joke. At least I treat it like a joke. I'm not going to say there's some PC gamers out there who don't treat it as a joke. There's some PC gamers out there who really believe they're the top 2% of the gaming world because they have a $4,000 machine or something like that. And you know, I feel that because they spend so much money on it, they need to stroke their ego some, because they know that they spent all that money, so they need to feel good about their investment. I can relate. Like when I built the last PC that I built, that I'm already thinking about doing an upgrade to it. So I've been there too. Like, heck, I paid this much for this PC. Darn it, I'm going to use it, right? And I feel proud of it. And you know what? You should feel like if you take the time to get over your fear, like I did, and build your own PC and everything, then yeah, why can't you feel proud that you built something and you're enjoying your games on a machine, on your baby, a machine that you built, that you did the research and you put it all together and you push the power button and it works. Why am I going to give somebody a hard time because they feel accomplished? You know, that they did something, they built something, right? So, you know, so to the people on this side, stop being so jelly. To the people on this other side, stop being so full of yourself. I'm talking to the PC Master Race here. Stop being so full of yourself because, you know, you happen to have money and you spend all this money on this PC or whatever, and so you feel like you're better than everybody else. You're not. Okay, you're not. The size of your wallet shouldn't determine whether or not you're a great person or not. It really shouldn't, because there's a lot of people out there who have plenty of money and they're like drug dealers and criminals, career criminals, and they have a lot of money. Do we think they're like, you know, the cream of the crop and they're like the best people out there? No, they're not. They're scum. They're the scum of the earth. Anywho, I rambled long enough. This video's already a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. Tell me what your thoughts are. I mean, do you guys prefer to play games on PC? Do you guys prefer to play games on console? Like, tell me what you think, and please don't turn it into an argument. Just tell me what you think. Which one feels your needs, and just which one do you prefer? All right. This has been Warlock from Seasoned Gamers. Don't forget to comment and subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up if you like the video. And I'll catch you guys next time.